Howdy beautiful people of the YouTube land. Welcome back to another episode of my E46 drift build. On this episode, I've got my brother here helping me, and we're gonna fit up some front and rear coilover suspension with some rear lower adjustable control arms. It's a super long video. It's not an instructional video. It's basically just a vlog on how we fitted it up. And like, we did encounter a lot of problems. So yeah, it's a long episode, but I wanted to include all my problems into the video so that other people can learn from them, instead of just looking at a video and somehow coilovers have magically appeared into a car and it's all perfect, because that's not what happened. So yeah, super long video, but also really wanted to have a lot of fun with it as well, because I have my brother here, so I want to include a lot of the stupid stuff that we're carrying on with. So yeah, I hope you enjoy the video, guys. Hit like, subscribe, and thank you for watching, and enjoy. Who's this?
What's going on? What's up? Boy, that's got Corona on it, that one.
Do you ever just look at your car and go, I wonder if my car has coronavirus on it?
Wait, it probably does. Because people touch it.
Those tyres probably do.
Yeah, those tires are grotty. They're all like black on the inside and stuffed up. Someone put dirt on the side of it, cement dust all over it, didn't wash it off, work. Just absolutely dogged me.
Who did that?
Mr. JWL.
JWL.
Yeah, Jared Lawrence. Who does that? Go check out my new wheels, guys.
What are these?
Prado 120 Grande wheels.
Grande.
Yeah, they look good.
So these going on the Ute.
Going on the 4x4.
Going on the Hilux. Sweet, that's gonna look wicked.
Yeah, should look fat.
Yo, if you're wondering who this is my brother. This is my brother. I'm not just filming some random dude, but you're probably watching my channel because you've been watching his channel, because he shared my channel. So this is my brother, Mezza.
Don't forget to smash like.
Say that again?
Smash like, smash some scrub.
So yeah, Mez also does a YouTube channel. It's called Mezzarino. His Instagram is @Mezzarino_. Anyway, I'll put it up here somewhere and in the description. But today, what are we doing?
Putting some coilovers in.
That's right. You've probably seen the box like laying around in the shed in the last few videos, but I have some maXpeedingrods. Ooh, the old eBay specials.
Yes.
So we're going to open that box up and have a look at the coilovers, and then we're going to chuck them in the E46. How do you feel about that?
Oh, I'm so keen to get this thing slammed. Credit card fitment.
Oh yeah, so I don't even know how low to go. How low should we go?
Slam it. Just body rails on the ground.
Well, so that's the front, and that's the back.
Yeah. You want like pinky fitment like that.
So does that mean we're going to have to roll the guards?
Yes, we'll have to roll the guards, which means we need to get a guard roller or a baseball bat.
Can we use that shovel?
Should we try the shovel?
Well, I don't know, because it looks pretty flimsy. It's already broken. Anyway, yeah, we're gonna fit some coilovers. Never done it before. Mez has actually done it on his 180. He's fitted some up, so he knows what he's doing. But I've got no fucking idea. So yeah, it's gonna be another great learning experience. Let's see what can go wrong. Alrighty, so got the coilovers here, but we also have some lower control arms from the same people, maXpeedingrods. So they are rear lower control arm, adjustable. Do you want to do the honors?
It's already cut open, what the hell?
Yeah, I've actually already been in there.
Been in, you've seen it already.
I've already seen it, but don't tell anyone.
So not show them. Oh!
Da, da, da.
Look at that, that's a nice red.
Yeah, I reckon that might go well with the blue. Not that you're going to see it that much.
Well, yeah, you won't see it unless you flip the car.
Yeah. Tear a rim off.
Yeah.
Alright. So, don't know how this works, but we're going to figure it out. Some adjustable spandoolies. These are the fronts. I don't know, fucking, we'll just work it out.
I think the rear is a separate coil.
Yeah, it is. It's not a true coilover. It's like independent.
Independent.
So that just goes in place of the shock. And then, yeah.
Cool.
So these are pretty sweet. It actually comes with instructions. However, well, firstly, coilover installation instructions. This is just a very broad, like, overview of how you're gonna install like a coilover. Like, jack the car up, put on stands, remove the driver's side wheel, blah blah blah, all that crap. And then this side is the how we're gonna install these coilovers. So one, it says the lower mount E can be threaded up to lower and threaded down to raise the vehicle. Tighten the locker WBH to secure the mount in place when the desired ride height is set up. Do not adjust locker A for height adjustment. Well, firstly, where is E? There's no E on here. Flip it over. Got a picture of the coil over, but there's no anything that says E here. There's nothing on here that says about E. Nothing that says WBW, nothing about A. So it does say in this instructions though, our coilover springs are are pre-fixed properly in our factory. If no special need, please don't adjust the spring locker A. So basically what they're trying to say is this part of the coilover is preset. So you don't mess with that bit because it's preset, because that's the tension of the spring. But this is the bit that you adjust to actually lower your vehicle. So yeah, it's going to be quite interesting, and can't wait to see what actually goes wrong. All right, so should we like turn the wheel so we can access all that shit?
Yeah, let's do a turning of the wheel so we can get the bolts and stuff.
All right, let's do it.
Full lock.
What do we do?
What do we do?
What do we undo?
I've only worked on S13s.
We undo that, I guess.
This is all.
And then drop, I guess, and then undo these.
Yeah.
And then it'll drop down.
Yeah. Where's the reverse button? You have to do this.
Yeah. Oh, do you like that?
I love this. I need to get one.
What makes you want to get one of those so bad?
Well, I always see Jimmy Oaks using one.
Yeah.
And it just looks really satisfying because you just do your nuts up instead of wrenching like that.
Can you give us a demo of what he does?
He goes like this. But then it's cut up, so you just hear this.
And it's done.
Can you buy me one of these?
Maybe for your birthday.
I just had my birthday.
Alrighty, so obviously got them out. Got this bolt out of here. We've got this out of here. I don't even know what this shit's called, so YOLO. And we've got a jack under here, holding it up. And Mez is gonna lower the jack down and then see what happens.
Yeah?
Yeah. Here you go. Here we go.
That's it.
That's it?
Yeah.
I'll probably pull in on this now, is it? Alright, so it doesn't come down far enough because the tie rod's attached and it's stuck up in here, and we need it to basically fall this way so then we can get it out of this part, because we can't get that up all the way. So yeah, we're gonna drop that down. Try and do it like as much weight as possible. Ready? You listen to it? It's my alarm.
Like that.
That's my grateful alarm. It's just a daily reminder to say things that I'm grateful for. Grateful for you, mate. Alright, we got it off. Let's see if we can get it down. What? What are we doing again?
Are we installing a seat? Yeah, keep going.
Probably going to annoy the viewers, the sound of that. Coming down. Down.
Yeah, ground level, get going. Yes. Yes. Oh. What?
I'll wiggle this up.
Mm-hmm.
Whoa! Oh, the studs came out. So, to get that out, we have to wiggle it up back into the tower of the frame of the car, or the body of the car. Up, out, and then to get it out of this knuckle here, if you can see that, where this bit slides into. Alright.
Chunky engineering.
Numero uno. Alright, so we're just going to try and put this in at the stock height that they kind of come to us from the supplier, and then we're just going to basically work out our height from there. So we'll put it in, put the wheel back on, lower it down, and see where we end up. So this could be interesting. Good?
Yeah, keep going. Wait.
Down a bit?
Yeah, just a touch. Yeah, go up. Yep.
Where are we going to start? That's right. At least I got a deep shafted one. That's good. All right, so when we put this into this housing here, there's actually a bit of a gap and it didn't quite seat. So what we did was we just jacked it up and then obviously put our top bit in, but then we just jacked it a little bit further and then it closed that gap up because basically the jack pushed the whole assembly up and then obviously it was butting up the top there and then this gap closed up. So we're going to put our tie rod back on and then our sway bar linkage, I'm pretty sure it's called sway bar linkage, and then we're going to head over to the other side of the car, do that one, chuck the wheels on, lower it on the car and see how we're sitting.
We slam.
Just going to undo this, get it into the center of that, and then once we put that in, you'll be able to see there's heaps of clearance. See, that's hitting there, and then when we pull this up into there, there's heaps of clearance there and it should be all right.
All drooped.
Look at the gap on the standard one compared to when you chuck the coilover in. It's not even off the ground yet. What the fuck?
It's gonna be slammed, dude. Like more than my car. And my car is like road legal at the moment because I need to go roadworthy so I can get club reg.
Oh yeah?
But fuck that.
Alright, so we've been battling with this side, the left hand side of the car for a little bit. The right hand side just went straight in there, but this side here, this bolt here was hitting inside here, and then as you can see these studs are all the way back in the slotted holes. So what we've had to do is we've actually had to open up these holes with a burr bit on the die grinder, just around the back here on that side and this side and the front one there, to try and get those studs to come back, which will allow more room for that head of that bolt inside this tower here. So just wanted to put that in there because it's probably going to happen to somebody else, and we didn't want to make it look like this was just a super easy install and that it just all fell into place for us, because it didn't. So that was our remedy, and yeah, just thought we'd chuck that in there. All right, moment of truth. It's coming off the stands.
Wait, did you pull the stands out yet?
Yeah.
Are we going to get this out?
I don't know.
Oh. Ooh.
You right?
Oh, it's fucking... Is this light super light? Oh, we're not getting this out.
Why not?
Oh, we are. Or maybe not. Because it's not even off the car yet, and it's like...
Is the bumper hitting the bit?
bumper's hitting the jack.
Damn.
That's how you know your car's alive, and you can't get your jack. Are you going to the jack?
We're gonna have to lower it down onto some bricks underneath the wheels and then roll it off the bricks. All right,
Yeah.
let's do that.
Yeah.
Check it back up. All right, got the bricks under there to lower it on.
This is the real moment of truth.
Yeah, exactly. It's lowered it a fair bit.
Wait, that's come up heaps. Oh, that's not bad.
That's actually all right.
Finger fitment.
Check the other side, make sure it's the same.
Same fitment.
Well, let's roll it off the bricks. And then see what it looks like.
Yes! It's so good. That's going to settle too. It'll be lower. That'll go lower.
when you roll it back and forth?
Nah, like once it's been down for a few days, it'll be lower. That's sick.
That's really good.
That's actually a really good height.
Look at the angle though from the front to the back.
That's so good.
So Mez is just gonna drive it back and forth to get the wheels to settle a bit, and then turn it back and forth and just see if it's gonna rub on the wheels. Is that full lock? Locker. So far no scrub. Back and forth. Yeah. No touchy, eh?
No touchy.
Sweet. Well, let's drive it back in and we'll just measure it. Make sure that we've got the right, they're both the same height.
Yeah. $625 millimeters.
All right.
Or 2 foot and whatever that means, because I can't read.
We're metric, don't worry about it.
Yeah. And then what's the other side?
I've already forgotten what this side is.
625 mil. And this is 635.
Oh,
So
it's 10 mil higher. Dang. What do we do? Adjust it.
Just adjust it 5 mil, 10 mil.
Alright, let's do it. Alrighty, so we've decided. Fucking duck in the jack. Do ducks even sound like that? So fuck! I'm gonna wait until he's finished. So what I was saying before that fucking racket was going on with that jack was that we decided to put the back ones in now because... Why? Because we feel like it, basically. There's no reason except we feel like it. So we're gonna put the backs in, sort of get it to the right height that we want, and then we're going to adjust it all so that it's all equal or some shit like that. I don't know. So yeah, away we go. Alrighty, so we're gonna try and figure out how to get this sort of thingy out and in and whatever. So we've got the jack under here holding all the assembly up, and then we're gonna pull this bolt out of the shock, pull the shock out. Well, first of all, pull the two nuts up there, then we can pull the shock out.
Well, it is nuts.
Sweet.
Oh, what?
Easy, mate, easy. I asked him to hold the torch and he's fucking holding it up here. Wasn't even dick. So we're gonna pull this out to get to our nuts. But I want this out of the back anyway, so we're just gonna rip the whole fucking thing out and do away with it.
Action! I don't know how it works.
You just pull them out?
Yeah, there's a wreath on it. Yeah. Whoa! Easy.
When you're lacking motivation to work out, motivation! You just scream, motivation! Oh, you didn't move.
What?
So we're just going to undo these strut, what do you call it?
What? Oh, it's going.
I wish I was outside watching that. Well, it's out.
Oh, it's a bit light that.
So now I think we lower the jack and then we can pull that spring out. Lower it down and see what happens, Mez. Keep going.
That's it.
Just go a bit more so we can like pry it down. Yeah.
If I stay on this. Oh!
There you go. All right, so we've got the old spring out. If you see the spring, it's got a rubber thing on the bottom and a rubber thing on the top. You gotta make sure that you leave the rubber thing back up there when you install this new spring. The rubber doesn't go on the bottom because there's no hole through that rubber there. Because when this goes on, you've got to chuck this bolt up underneath through there. And if you have that rubber on and there's no hole, then the bolt won't come through that hole where that goes. Alrighty, so to get this in, well actually to get it bolted in is what I'm trying to say. It's quite difficult because the bolt's here and you've got this drive shaft in the way and you can't actually quite get that bolt in going straight up, so you have to go on an angle. So you've got to put this in, this red thing in first, on an angle, so then you can get the bolt up and then screw the bolt in to this bit enough until it becomes sort of flush, well not completely flush here, but enough so it doesn't hit the drive shaft anymore. That way this still has a little bit of room to move, like angle back that way, so that you can get the new spring down onto it and then up into there. Next job is to put these up into the car. So I'm going to feed it up, get these lined up, and then Mez can put the nuts on. All right, now we can jack it back up and then fit the shock back to its original position. All right, so what we've done is we've had to lower this all the way down because we jacked it up before and then the spring actually fully compressed, and then this shock was nowhere near its mounting point. So we've just dropped this all the way down, and now we're gonna see if we can get this shocker on, now that there's a little bit more room and not as much compression on the spring. Alrighty, so we ended up winding this back up to where it was, and then we jacked it up from here, and we had to wind this shocker out. It comes in the packet like all the way here, bottomed out, so we actually had to wind it all the way down so that it would fit onto here. And we actually made it from that collar there to that locking nut, we made it 275 mil. So if we look at this one on the bench, from here to here is 275 mil. So basically you have this much thread sticking into here, and that's kind of the only way we got it to fit in. So yeah, now we've got the left hand side done. We're going to go onto the right side, get it done, get the wheels on, and we're going to drop it down and check out the stance.
The gloves are sweaty and yuck. Like a shriveled up prune.
Alrighty, we've got the other side in, and we're going to lower off the jack, and this is the moment of truth. The hell? It doesn't... it didn't suck up any suspension at all. Oh, jump in the boot.
Static!
That is stiff as.
Sure is.
It's not that much lower. I don't know. Look at the front.
It looks pretty low.
So the front's nice. The back's a bit, like, it's obviously a bit lower, but... What do you reckon?
I don't know. You got like 2 fingers in there.
I don't know if we can get it much lower.
The spring is like fully compressed.
Because the spring is fully compressed.
How many fingers was it before?
I forgot to measure. I think it was like 3.
We're just going to take it for a little drive up and down the driveway, just to see if it settles a little bit. Just because that gap is like 2 fingers, and the front, do the honours, Mez. It's like half a finger.
Single edge.
So yeah, we're going to do that and see if the back settles a bit and go from there. Alright, we got it back in the garage. It didn't really settle that much, to be honest, and I've got to work out how to make it a little bit lower, or if I can even make it a bit lower. Alrighty, so yeah, took it for a little testy, got it to settle. Well, don't know if we got it to settle, but we just drove it for a bit.
Settle more overnight.
Might settle a little bit more, but yeah, we're gonna call it a night and come back tomorrow. And I don't know, Mez might be going back to his joint, so I'll probably be fitting in the rear lower control arms just by myself. So yeah, that's about it.
See you tomorrow!
Alrighty folks, it is a new day. Mez has gone home, so it's just me in the garage today. I've got the E46 up on the stands because I'm going to try and lower the back end a bit more, and to do so, basically, I'm going to be lowering this nut on this adjuster all the way down to the lowest point, so that it's going to be as low as it can go. So basically, I have to drop the shock, this shock back off, and then to take the weight off the spring, so then I can lower it down. So yeah, gonna get into that. And then I'm actually gonna chuck the lower control arms in as well. So yeah, let's get to it. Alrighty, so got that nut lowered all the way down there. Got it all back in place. Got the shock back on. Now it's time to get onto the lower control arms. And even though we lowered this all the way down, we actually kept this strut at the same length. I think it was like 275 or something, that measurement. If you go back to earlier on in the video, that's when I spoke about it. All right, so there's the lower control arms here. Probably already know that. I've got this bottom bolt out here. This is proving to be a bigger job than expected. So I've got the other bolt out here, but can't get it all the way out because it's hitting the diff. And it's not out far enough to get this arm out. So, yeah, it looks like a bad job. So I've just done a bit of research, and to get that bolt out, you actually have to loosen all the diff bolts and like jack the diff up out of the way. So you've got to loosen, this bolt up here, then you've got to loosen the two front ones that are here, and then basically jack up the diff so that it pushes it up out of the way so you can get that bolt out. Righty, so I got the rear diff bolt out, and then what I've done here is just loosened these ones, as you can see there. Just loosened them a bit. Same with that one there. Just kind of backed them off maybe 10 mil, and then hopefully that is enough room to allow the diff to be jacked up, so that we can then get that bolt, where is it? This bolt out. So I'm going to jack that up now and see how we go. So that's actually given us quite a bit more clearance. As you can, alright, here we go. As you can see, there's a bit more clearance there. So now I'll try and pry it out. So what you should do is also take this off here first. If you've just installed your coilovers, you may need to jack this up here and then drop the shock back out, because when I pried this off, look how much, like it's way out, so it actually sprung, this whole thing sprung in. So I think if you take the shocker off, you'll be able to get this out a lot easier. And then now this bolt here can actually just come down here, hold this up, and then I can get that bolt out. And then now I can slide my control arm out. Alrighty, so I got the new control arms here. Gonna slide it up, basically reverse procedure, slide it up in there, put that bolt back in, and then I'm actually gonna have to jack up this so then I can get this end in here. Alright, gonna slide my new control arm in here, and then chuck the bolt in. Beauty. Alrighty, so now I can put my lower control arm up. Just reusing the original bolts and nuts, washers. Just going to leave it all loose for now, just until I get the other side on, and then do some measurements, make sure that it's not way too out of camber or something, and then I might have to adjust it all. So yeah, just going to do that. Alrighty, so got both lower control arms in. Now what I've done is I've measured the old lower control arms, and then I've wound these out 10 mil shorter than what they're meant to be. So basically measuring from the center of that bolt and the center of that bolt, and then you just wind this out. So that, well, you wind it in a certain direction and then it pushes those out, and then yeah, changes the length, then changes the camber. I'm not too sure what the camber is meant to be, so I'm just going to put it to where, you know, it's sort of the same as standard. Well, obviously 10 mil shorter, and then when I'm ready, I'm going to send it and get a proper alignment. Got to figure out what camber you're meant to run in the back, so not sure. So I've got to figure that out and then take it somewhere to get done. Alrighty, now that I've adjusted both sides of my control arms, I've locked up these nuts and I've tightened that nut, that bolt there, and this bolt up in here, and I've gone ahead and put all my diff bolts back in, tighten all them back up, so that's in place. Now it's time to put the wheels on. Alrighty, wheels are on. Now it's time to lower the jack and see how it sits. Alright, so I think it's still sitting a little high, but that's because we've just lowered it off the jack. But if I can jump on the back a bit, maybe it'll come down a bit. It's basically the same. What the fuck? What's this so weird? I've got it at its lowest adjusting point and it's still the same. Maybe I need to take it for a drive and then it'll settle down. That's what I'll do. Okay, so it's pretty much the same height. It's pretty much the same height. When, you know, even though I adjusted that thing all the way down, it's still the same height. Basically, the only thing that's different is that the suspension is actually softer. So before, when we had those things wound up halfway, you jump on the back and it was just like rigid as. But now, if I jump on this, it's actually like, it's got a bit of suspension. Whereas before, with those adjusters like halfway, the springs were really stiff, and basically, yeah, you jump on the back and then it just like basically bounced off the tires. It was that stiff. So I'm not too sure. I thought that's how you make it lower, is by giving the spring more fucking room to crush up. But it mustn't be what's going on. Mustn't be the way to do it. And there's bugger all videos on YouTube that tell you actually how to do it. So yeah, bit disappointing, but I'm sure we'll work it out. I was really hoping that was going to be coming off the jack stands for the last time. Yeah, I was really hoping that would have made it lower and I wouldn't have had to touch it again. But unfortunately, that's not how things always go. Anyway, alrighty, so here's what's up. Figured it out. So, you know how I was saying that I dropped this all the way down and I thought that was going to allow this whole assembly to come up because it gives it more room? Well, all it does is changes the pressure on the spring. To bring this whole thing up, you've actually got to change the height of that. So you remember how we had this length of this lock nut from here up to here was 275. Well, I've changed it to 140. So now it actually brings this whole assembly up. Otherwise, if all you're doing is changing that all the way down to the bottom, is you're basically relying on the weight of the car to compress the spring and then to lower it. So if you have if you have this bit at 275, and then you have that spring adjuster all the way down, you're getting standard ride height, right, with a softer spring. But if you tighten this halfway, like when we first installed it, then all you're going to get is a tighter spring, right? Because the distance from this to the frame is actually the same distance. So you're not actually changing this. All you're doing is just compressing the spring, like so, to give it a stronger or a stiffer ride. And you keep the same ride height, right? So to actually change the ride height, you got to change the length of that shock. Now, unfortunately, that isn't all that good for driving on the road. It's okay for driving on the track because it's seriously stiff, right? So it's probably good for drifting. But basically, this shocker is fully extended, right? And then when we lower this on the ground, it barely sucks any suspension up. So if you go over a bump on the ground, your wheel needs to move up and it needs to move down. But because the shocker right now installed is fully extended, the wheel can't go down. It can only come up, right? So if you go around a corner, basically the opposite side will be able to suck up a little bit, but then this back wheel won't be able to come down because the shock absorber is all the way. So basically that means that wheel is going to lift off the ground. So yeah, it's not that great. What I've actually thought about doing is if I took this collar out all the way, then that would allow this spring to open up a bit, and that would give it a bit more cushion. It would keep the same ride height, but it would give it a bit more cushion. So yeah, basically I think I'm going to leave it there. I'm going to chuck the wheel on, show you what the gap is, and then probably leave it there. Barely sucked up any suspension when it dropped down. So that means the spring is really stiff because we've actually compressed it. So now she's sitting pretty. About the same gap in the front to the back. Looks good. So like I was saying, because that spring is so compressed to bring the wheel up and get it to the height we want, now the suspension is so stiff because that spring is compressed. I'll show you what I mean. I'll jump on the back and you'll be able to see how like stiff it is. It barely moves. All right, it's finally done. Far out, what an experience. The ride height's really good. I'm really happy with that. Spring tension is still a little stiff, but I'm just gonna run it as is and then just work out, you know, if it's no good down the road. So yeah, happy with that. Ew. Super long video. Yeah, I didn't think it was going to be this long of a video, but you know, I wanted to put in the realistic side of like putting this shit into your car, because it's not all beer and skittles, you know, it doesn't just all fall into place, and things are a struggle sometimes, especially when you've never done something before and there's not a lot of info on the internet. So yeah, if you have made it this far in the video, thank you very much for watching all the way through. If you enjoyed the video, please hit that thumbs up button, and if you think that somebody else may benefit from watching this, please share it around. And if you are interested in sticking around for more builds, please hit that subscribe button to stay up to date with all the new videos that will be coming up. And yeah, leave a comment below, guys, what you think, what you reckon. If you have any advice about the suspension setup or anything like that. So yeah, thank you very much, and yeah, sorry for the long video, but we just wanted to have a bit of fun with it and also include a lot of the struggling parts of the installation. All right, guys, thank you very much for watching. Take it easy. Peace.